Have you ever had a bold, exciting idea? The one that really lit you up. The idea feels powerful, original, but thoughts like, is this too much? Is this too weird? Start messing with your head, leading you straight to a point where you are picturing the client looking at you like, what the hell is this? And in such moments, you start thinking, you know what? I'll just play it safe and keep it simple. Because you just want to go with something predictable. And look, it's not that your bold idea wasn't good. It's just that safe is comfortable. It's easier to explain, easier to sell, it gets the job done. Put yourself in the client's shoes. They go through the exact same process. You show them something bold and powerful, and yeah, maybe they are impressed for a second, but then they start softening the edges until that exciting idea becomes completely neutral. So why does this keep happening? Over the last 20 years, I've pitched a countless number of ideas, and I've watched this same pattern play out on the creative side, on the client side, over and over again, and there's a real explanation for it. That's exactly what we are getting into today. I'm Daniel, and here I break down what actually happens on real projects and share my take on how to stay intentional in this industry. Here's the main takeaway I want you to get from this video. Choosing the safe route is actually a bigger risk than going with your boldest idea. Sounds backwards, I know, but stick with me till the end and I'll show you exactly why. Okay, let's get clear on what we are actually talking about here and what does a safe option actually look like. It's the approach, the solution that you've used before, that's worked before, or maybe it's something so generic it fits absolutely everything. And the best part about safe options is that they are so easy to sell because you've solved them before. You know which slides to pull up, you know which arguments to make. Now let's look at a couple of classic cases when the safe option seems to be a very smart choice. New client, tight deadline, and number of projects on your plate. Everyone is exhausted, so who wants to go all in on a bold, risky idea in that situation? Nobody. You just want to avoid friction. So you do that classic agency move. You prepare two directions. Option A is bold, option B is safe, and you present it like, we are offering two distinct approaches. Sounds very professional, right? Very balanced, like you are doing the client a favor. But let us think about what is actually happening here. Instead of taking a position, you are asking the client to decide and to carry the creative risk for you. The client treats you as a professional, and your job is to deliver a powerful, strong solution. But instead of that, you are just transferring responsibility. Let us do another mental exercise and look at it from the client's side. Usually you are dealing with a brand manager or project manager, someone who has a goal from their boss. When they are sitting there, looking at one option that's bold, unusual, and maybe even a little bit controversial, and another option that's neutral and explainable, they think, if there is a safe working option, why take the risk? And that is just human nature. We are wired to avoid loss. So safe starts feeling like a smart choice, even though it is not. A quick detour into how our brains actually work. Because there's a real reason this keeps happening. And it is not stupidity. It is a bug, an actual bug in our mental software that we were born with. We didn't choose it, it just came with the package. It's called loss aversion. Here's the idea. Your brain doesn't treat wins and losses equally. Losing something hurts about twice as much as gaining the same thing feels good. Quick example, you find $100 on the street. Nice, you are happy. But then you reach into your pocket and realize you dropped your own $100 somewhere, and that one hurts way harder. Same amount of money, but completely different reaction. Being bold can bring huge rewards, attention, standing out from competitors, but it also carries risk, and the option we think of as safe, even if it's not promising greatness, at least reduces the chance of failure. Your brain doesn't think about how great it could be, it immediately jumps to the worst case. What if the client hates it? What if it fails? What if I look stupid? What if I wasted everyone's time? And right next to it is the safe option. Not exciting, not memorable, but at least nothing can go wrong. This is how we kill bold ideas. There are a lot of other cognitive biases happening here, and if you want to go deeper on this stuff, I would love to recommend the book, The Art of Thinking Clearly. The link is in the description. Okay, now let's talk about bold. And first of all, we need to separate it from just making noise. Because a lot of people assume that going bold means doing more. More graphics, more effects, more everything. But actually, a bold solution is always about sacrifice. It is about cutting things away, making everything else quiet, just to supercharge the main part. It's like redirecting every spotlight in the theater onto one single actor. It doesn't mean the other characters disappeared. It means that right now, in this moment, this is the one that matters most. You sacrifice reach so you can hit one specific audience as hard as possible. You strip away content so nothing distracts from your one core idea. You give up being universal in exchange for being super specific. Let me walk you through a couple of real examples. By 2020, the world was deep into the eco and clean eating conversation. And the criticism of fast food was always the same. This stuff doesn't go bad for years, so it's all chemicals. Burger King decided to go straight at that. Here's what they did. They shot a 45-second time-lapse of a Whopper, and in 45 seconds you watch a whole month of rot. Now, what was the actual risk here? For any food brand, appetite appeal is basically sacred. Showing your flagship product rotting on camera is like deliberately triggering a gag reflex. The brand managers were risking people completely disconnecting the Burger King name from food. But here's the deeper insight. The boldness was the honesty. The tagline was the beauty of no artificial preservatives. And suddenly the whole perception flips. If it rots, it is real. The mold becomes a quality certificate. And the campaign won every award possible, including the Grand Prix at Cannes. Sales went up, and brand recognition as a company that actually cares about ingredient quality skyrocketed. The second case is liquid death. And this one is even more interesting because the boldness isn't just a campaign, it's baked into the entire brand DNA. It's not one-time stunt, it's a position. So here's the context. The water market is an ocean of sameness. Blue labels, clean mountain glaciers, happy people in yoga studios. The founder, Mike Cesario, got the idea while attending the Vans Warped Tour. He noticed that rock bands were officially sponsored by energy drink companies, but they didn't actually want to drink that much sugar and caffeine while performing in the heat. To stay hydrated, without violating their contracts, the musicians would pour out the energy drinks and refill the cans with water. And that was the insight. Their strategy involved a huge sacrifice. They intentionally alienated the traditional healthy market to win over a subculture. They sacrificed maybe 90% of the market to become the number one choice for the other 10%. The result? In 5 years, they went from an idea to 1.4 billion valuation, the fastest growing water brand in American history. So here is the rule. No sacrifice, it's not a bold idea. Sorry, bold ideas always cut something away. And that's exactly where their power comes from. When you try to speak to everyone at once, you become neutral. And neutral is basically invisible. Average, gray, inoffensive, it's always okay. But it is never wow. For an idea to be memorable, you have to take a position. And that position is exactly what people are coming to you for. So don't offer 5 options. Don't offer a bold plus safe package. Offer one solution and be completely straight with your client. Here is what we're giving up. Here is the risk, but here is the upside, and here's why it's worth it. That's a position. And now let's come back to why safe is actually the biggest risk. Look, I believe the business side is clear. Gray, neutral work gets lost. The client wastes money and the project gets around 0 attention. But there is a much bigger and much more terrifying risk here, a personal one. Every time you kill a bold idea before it even reaches the client, you get a little better at killing bold ideas. You deliver, everything gets approved, everything seems to be okay. But the cost of playing safe is just harder to see. It doesn't show up as a lost pitch. It shows up when you are scrolling through your own portfolio looking for that one piece that actually says something, and you realize there are almost none. This is where lost aversion actually leads. You are so busy avoiding a lost client that you don't notice how you are losing yourself as a creative. So next time you choose a direction, be honest. Are you actually taking a position, or are you just hiding behind what is easy to approve? If this was useful, subscribe and drop a comment. What is one bold idea you had to kill, and do you regret it now? See you in the next one.